Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppage. Today joined by
Brett.
Venomyces, cracking a bottle of Cantillon for the first time in years, I think, almost. It's getting rarer and rarer that we review Cantillon because Cantillon is getting so hard to get.
Yep.
And when it's here, especially one-offs, it sells out like this. It's like gone from shelves instantly. And the prices have gone from around 150 Danish kroners a bottle to the double.
Or more.
Which is insane. It's the prices have just been ramped up. So 300. This was 300 crowns, right?
I think it was actually a bit more.
340, something.
Around. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, which is like the bottle of fancy wine. But I think still in Belgium it's fairly priced. But it's I guess the important company.
It's important. Yeah,
whatnot. But because you could get a fairly good box with this beer and cheap box with a couple bottles of this and a couple bottles of Fufun. And on Cantillon's own web shop, but you have to get it in Belgium. But speaking of Cantillon and all this stuff, this is none other than the 2018 vintage of Cantillon's Nath. This is one of the Cantillon Lambics that I've never tried. It's a newer release from them as well, as far as I understand, or at least in bottles where it's more commercially available.
It was released first in 17.
17, okay. Yeah. In bottles, or do you know it's because sometimes they do these releases that's only sold as special blends at the brewery for events.
No, it was released for the first time in 2017.
Okay. So it's a 5.5% lambic, fruit lambic, and the special thing about this fruit lambic is that it's made with rhubarb.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know if this has taken the place of mamouche, because I think I've seen mamouche in a long time.
I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. Because mamouche used to be released at least in Denmark, around the same time as Fufun. And we also have a bottle of Fufun to review tonight.
Yes.
So that's going to be fun to revisit. That's one of my all-time favorite sours.
Yep.
But Nath, let's check it out. Rhubarb lambic. So I got some yeast in my glass.
Yeah, mine is a bit clearer.
Yeah. But otherwise, it's a nice golden yellow color.
Yeah.
I mean, rhubarb is probably not going to give off much color.
No. But rhubarb can be quite sour, and apparently it can have a very distinctive type of sourness that I don't know what it's called in English. But
just trying to see here if it said how much rhubarb they use, grams per liter or something.
Oh.
But you can't, Lambic did 2, so I guess like 2 year. Oh, it's in English right there. Stupid. Sort of maceration with rhubarb in 2-year-old lambic re-fermented beer. Blah, blah. Yeah, you can't read it completely because the return fee label is on top of it. So okay, fruit lambic is usually young lambic and then macerated with rhubarb. But yeah, hazy yellow.
It looks like a goose.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, no, whitehead, which is a young lambic. Let's tell the aroma. Ooh, yeah, it has that kind of sweet, sour, rhubarb-esque flavor. It reminds me of having a rødgrød or something, or when you're cooking it, when you're cooking the rhubarb. Because you use a lot of sugar for it. But I don't think it smells like it's sour. It's got like a lot of vinegar sourness, but also a lot of like wine quality to it.
Yeah, I get a lot of like a white winey quality. It reminds me a bit of goose too.
Yeah, it's similar to goose.
Yeah. And I get a bit of stone fruit.
Like apricots or peaches.
Yeah, exactly.
Plums. And good amount of funk. It's not crazy funk, but it's also not a goose. It's a fruit.
It does have that wet corky kind of thing, I think.
If you smell this, I recently had some Glyfontaine, and I think this is a bit more deep on the funk, actually.
Okay.
Compared to the last Glyfontaine I had.
Yeah, and I just think Cantillon's funk is a bit different.
The thing with the funk is also it's really hard to describe.
But
I always describe musty old cellar on Glyfontaine.
Yeah,
this is similar, but it seems a bit more, if you can say, intense.
Yeah, and I think generally Cantillon's funk is a bit more corky. To me, it smells like more like
it's more dry.
Wet,
I think it's a mix of that, but also oak.
Yeah.
From barrel aging.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're right. But let's taste it.
Let's try that for the first time.
Yeah.
Cheers. Oh, that's really nice. Definitely like rhubarb. Like, have you ever had rhubarb soda? Almost reminds me of that. Or like when you in the summer you make rhubarb saft, like cordial. There's it's a nice sourness, but it's not crazy, and the rhubarb really sounds. But I think this is the same as something like Fufun. This can go really sour with time. It's like green rhubarb, and
I
also
agree
like
with that green rhubarb.
Yeah.
note, yeah. There's almost something in there that reminds me of a cucumber.
Oh.
This
yeah.
cucumber skin.
I just like the refreshing kind of like almost like wateriness of a cucumber. But I think that's the same as with rhubarb. Rhubarb has a similar kind of feel to it if you bite into it, but it can be really sour.
Yeah. There's definitely something.
Funkiness is much lower on the flavor than the aroma. It's definitely there. It's like a bit of this musty old cellar, but it's much more light, but it's also a fresh bottle, and the fruit really shines.
Yeah, it's not even a year old.
No.
This bottle. What is it, around 8 months?
So it was bottled in June.
Yeah.
Last year.
Yeah. So it's 9 months.
And then a bit of stone fruit, a bit of apricot, a bit of white grape quality, drying oaky flavor on the palate as well.
It has that dusty, white winey, oaky finish.
But it has a little bit of that acetic acid. Just a little bit.
I've seen some talk about sulfur, but I don't think I get too much of that.
I can see the sulfur note. It's a little bit almost like eggy.
Yeah, but
just a little bit.
I just don't get that much of it. I expected more of it from what I've heard, but I think it's very subtle.
I think this is a really nice fruit lambic. I'm not being blown away, but that's probably also because rhubarb isn't like my favorite thing.
No. You have to really like rhubarb.
If you're like a huge rhubarb fan, I think you're really
you should go crazy about it.
But that acetic sourness, like it goes down. It's not just like lactic sourness. That's definitely lactic sourness, but there's also this acetic kind of vinegary sourness to it as well. Drying oak with the funk. Also really nice.
Yes.
Thinking like to be honest, well, I didn't have super high expectations.
No,
I kind of didn't have any going into it because it's rhubarb, but I like other Cantillon Lambics more. Let's say it like that. Yeah. I still think it's it's really good. I know I wouldn't say world class, but I think it's really good. I'm gonna go like 93, 94, I think. I don't think it's terrible or anything. I mean, 93, 94 is a great grade. It's really good.
I haven't heard.
But I hope I would be more excited about drinking Cantillon again, not having it for so long. But I know I will when we have.
The other one.
That was why I thought, Brett, we need to drink this first.
Yeah.
Because I know Fufun is going to be great.
Yeah.
Fufun is always great.
I
94.
With you,
I think it's really good.
To me, the Krieg Bio Krieg is maybe like a 95, 96. Especially I have the latest vintage, and I think this is just a notch
lower.
Yeah, below. So I agree with you, like a 94.
Yeah, well, that's really good.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you have Fufun as well from this release, I think most people will agree that.
I think most people want this because it's rare.
Yeah, and new.
Yeah,
and it's a new product release. Yeah, but I mean, it's still worth a shot for sure. It's not something I would trade too much for.
No.
Compared to other Cantillon products.
No.
But I still think it's fabulous stuff. So
absolutely.
If you guys had a chance to try the 2018 bottle of Cantillon Nath, man, it's so weird holding a Cantillon bottle again. Even though I have some stuff in my cellar, but
have loads.
That's what trading. But this is great. So if you guys had a chance to try it, let us know. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and we're gonna say cheers.
Cheers.
And see you guys in another beer review.